I just wanna go out on a walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out on a walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to me.
We are already well into January as I'm recording this video, but I had the urge today to just sit down and write out all of my intentions for 2026. And my original thought was that I will not set anything for this year, like no goals, no intentions, just going until spring, and then when my birthday arrives I will set myself goals. That was what I did for this past 2 years. I was like, no, I just want to plant the seeds already so that I have something to build my goals on in spring. So I wrote out my intentions. And before we are going through them, I just quickly wanted to give you the structure, how I'm planning to do this year. Like as I mentioned, I just want to experiment a little bit because I haven't found a system yet which works for me, but I thought I could start with intentions, like what I want my year to look like, and in spring, at the end of April when my birthday comes, I will look at these intentions and see what I want to carry on and what I want to build my goals on and what I want to let go of, and then I will build my goals for my year, but not for the calendar year, if that makes any sense. I think that's what winter is about. So for my intentions, I have used my regular Moleskine journal. Here I wrote out my 2026 intentions and some other insights which came to my mind by journaling. So the first one in my journal is experimenting with cooking and adjusting recipes. I feel like cooking can be such a nice hobby, and I have always seen it as a chore. Like I'm also rushing through it and just want to get through it as fast as possible, and I feel like it's not good. Like I want to see it as something which can ground me in the kitchen, and I also want to experiment more, like also maybe figuring out new recipes and so on. The second, it has also something to do with cooking and eating. Like I really need to pay more attention to my diet, especially to my protein intake, because I'm not a very good eater. Like I'm very picky when it comes to food, especially with meat. Like I don't like to eat meat, I don't like the texture. I started to count my protein intake and I was shocked. Like I was literally shocked how little protein I'm putting into my body. I really just need to figure out a way to be better with my protein. Then I really want to get back into running. Last year I had this phase, I think that was during spring and summer, when I went on regular runs, and it was so good. I felt so good in my body, and also making progress made me so happy and proud of myself. And Sundays were my long run days, and I just want to incorporate them again in my life. So we will pick up running again. I also want to find a creative outlet. I wrote down painting, drawing, DIYing, like generally just doing things with my hands. I miss that a lot. Like I also love my journal, and I love to write out also little lists and notes, etc. And I just miss doing things with my hands and not scrolling and tipping like other things, like actually building stuff and creating stuff with the hands. The next one is regular journaling. I got this journal from Mate for my last birthday, and I'm halfway through it. I'm already journaling regularly, and I just want to keep it up, and maybe also like starting with journaling prompts. I think that can be helpful, especially during some times. I had a really bad day a couple of days ago, and I just pulled out some journaling prompts for bad days or something like that on Pinterest, and it was really good. Like, that was pretty awesome. Then daily movement and nature walks. I love going on walks, especially when it's sunny outside, but I also feel like, especially on those days when it's not sunny and it's so easy to stay indoors. So that was the postman coming. So where were we? Daily movement, nature walks. I feel like, especially on those days when it's rainy, when it's windy and the weather is not that nice, I feel like that's actually much more important to move yourself and to go out for a walk, because that will put you in an instant better mood. Like, that's the case for me. So I just can't speak for myself, but I love going out and just not feeling myself so closed in an apartment. The next one is be more consistent with creating video journals. Especially what I mean with that is not only YouTube, but I started this video journal entries, kind of, just for Mate and myself when we first got together 7 years ago. And what I did was just create a video for each season, like for spring, for summer, for autumn and winter. And I was very consistent for like 4 years, I would say, with that. But now I'm so behind. I have like more than 2 years, which I want to like capsule for ourselves for the future, and I just really want to continue that. And that was such a nice way also to look back on these past 3 months and what we have accomplished, what has happened to us, and I just want to keep doing those video journals just for ourselves. I also want to read regularly. Like, I'm already doing this, I just wanted to put this as an intention also for 2026. Like, not that I'm going to stop reading, I don't think that, but it's something that grounds me and which has to be on this page. I actually already wrote a goal next to it, because I already know that I want to read 25 books this year. Like, 25 is the number which works perfectly for me. I intend to read 2 books per month, and then just in a random month one more. Like, that's very doable for me. Obviously I would love to read more, but that's not really in the cards at this moment, I feel like. I will try, but I also want to keep reading as a nice hobby, and I don't want to numberize it, and I don't want to set a very strict goal to it. Like, if I'm reading more, it's perfect, I'm very happy, but I just don't want to put pressure on reading, because I just love it. And I know when I say I want to read 50 books, I will be pressured and I will fly through my books, and I don't want that. I want to enjoy these experiences. So we are sticking with 25 this year too. Okay, the next one is I've had this on my goals like for I think forever. Like, being more flexible is something I'm very keen to be. I want to be more flexible. I'm also not stretching enough, but at the time during COVID I had a phase when I was doing a lot of yoga. I also did a 30-day challenge once in my life, and that was such a nice month for me, and I'm hooked on this idea that I just want to take on a 30-day yoga challenge again and just see how it improves my life. But generally just become more flexible, stretching regularly. The next one is being more offline. This was also during COVID. Like, I feel like during COVID, I don't want to be nostalgic about COVID or anything, but I feel like I had some pretty good habits back then, which I couldn't incorporate after that period, and I just want to bring them back somehow. And that's also being more offline. Like I had days, I think that these days were Sundays for me. I didn't use Instagram, like I was off of social media. YouTube was always an exception because I love watching YouTube videos, and I don't have this strange feeling about YouTube what I have about Instagram, for example. The last one is strange because I feel like this is already a goal and I will have to think about it, how to set an intention for it. But I just wanted to write it down because I had this feeling for the longest time that I want like a commonplace journal. Like when I come across, I don't know, terms which I don't know, or if I come across topics I would really read about and I'm interested in, I just want a booklet for myself where I can collect those ideas, and that would also serve lifelong learning. There is always so many things we can learn about, and I feel like that's so good for my brain too. I started this a lot of the times, especially with herbs, but I never found a structure or a system which works for me in this regard. So I just want to see different options for myself, how I can do it, and then I just really want to stick to it, and I really want to learn. So yeah, those are my intentions. I wrote down how I want to approach this year, like setting intentions for 2026 and building my actual goals on these intentions in April or May. And I feel like it's I really want to emphasize again, like these intentions, like also being more flexible, etc., etc. Like I carried them through so many years. Like if I'm not acting upon them until my birthday, when I really have to set goals for myself, I will let them go. I don't want to have them next year. I don't want to carry them around my whole life. We will see. I'm really ready to let go of things which are not meant for me, and just paying attention to those things which will stick with me until April and which will not. And also I did this for these last 2 years too, that I set myself a word, like I found myself a word for the current calendar year, and last year it was presence. I feel like now that 2025 is over and I think back on that year, what comes to my mind is clarity, not presence. And that's perfectly fine because I wished for presence so much, but I got clarity instead, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. It was sometimes hurtful. There weren't only nice things which fell into their places. A lot of the things became clear to me, like also career-wise and how I want my life to look like in general, like in the bigger picture. And clarity really took over, and the puzzle pieces fell into their places where they belong, but they are not giving the big picture yet. So I have to build a puzzle, but I know where the pieces need to go, if that makes any sense. But yeah, therefore there's only one word which comes to my mind, which has to be 2026, and that is action. I just really need to act on things and not figure out how. I just have to do. This year I just really need to do things and be brave and make the next step. Now that all of these things I feel like are written down and I know in which direction I want to go, I want to make a vision board, and I will put it into my bedroom. I did this a couple of years ago and it was crazy to see how many things actually came to life after making a vision board. So I just really want to manifest some things for this year, and I will just take you along. For making my vision board, I use Canva, and for a special feature, which is the background removal, which you will see a lot of the times in this video, you will need the pro version. I'm currently also on a 30-day trial, so that this feature is also free to use. I have typed in a MacBook background, as you saw, because I like to set the vision board also as my screensaver, but you can go with any size you want. And now the fun part begins, because you basically are playing around. For the pictures, I'm always sourcing them from Pinterest, and you are just adding in the kind of feeling or the aesthetic you want to have, and go on as long as you find those pictures which are calling to you. If I have found a picture which I like and want to use it on my vision board, I will go on and copy the picture. I don't like to save it, and then I paste it on Canva, and it works perfectly. And so I work through my intentions, which I said earlier in this video, and the next one I was trying to incorporate in this vision board is just my protein intake. You also have to be creative what you're putting into Pinterest, but I think I have found a nice picture in the end, which I can use for just, you know, that I know what I want to say with this picture.
I just wanna go out and walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out and walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same things you can see, understand the meaning on a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just wanna see the same things you can see. Could be 20 minutes or an hour or two. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. I just wanna go out on a walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk.
So I'm currently editing this video, and I figured that I have to give you some explanation because the end of the video, like my vision board, didn't turn out as I originally thought it would turn out, if that makes any sense, but in a good way. Like, while I was working with it, while I was working on it, I realized that there are some very important things to me which I didn't mention at the beginning of the video. So there is also an elephant in the room, I feel like. In the middle of the vision board, you can see a kitchen. And that's because we got a house which we will renovate. The workers are starting already in April, and there will be a lot of work with this house. I definitely want to give you more insights in the upcoming weeks or months. but I'm dreaming of a midnight blue kitchen, and that's why this kitchen had to go on the vision board. And you also saw this bathtub kind of situation with the phrase "it all worked out." It's also because of the house, because it's going to be a huge renovation, and obviously that's a bit scary. So I hope that by the end of the year we can celebrate Christmas there, and that I can just lay in our bathtub and think to myself, it all worked out. And also the phrase about the money, like the more I spend, the more I'm getting back. This house will cost us a lot of money. The renovations are not going to be cheap. I'm I'm beyond grateful that we are able to renovate a house, but I'm also very anxious about money, and I want to work on this mindset. Sorry if I'm looking out of the window, but I just try to process my own thoughts as well about this. So yeah, that's because of the house and the golden retriever. I have always wanted a dog, especially a golden retriever. And on the one side, I don't want to put any more things on my plate this year. On the other side, I just really would love to have a dog. And if it's not happening this year, I'm perfectly fine with it. But I just wanted to have it on the vision board. So yeah, the other things we have already talked about. So thank you guys for watching this video, and see you very soon.